Okay, so what I say I want us to discuss today now is about how to apply the CSS to some of these important work part of the website. Number one, how to add the CSS to to font, how to use font CSS, and how to format the text with CSS, and also how to format the list, and how to format the link, and how to format the after link again. We have some other work, CSS work, okay, which I see we are going to look at. I know the text is there, the font is there, the link is there, and the table, but you cannot do all of that. I just want to list them again. How to apply CSS to what? To the table. How to apply CSS to what? To the form. How to apply CSS to what? To image. And finally, how to use CSS for what? For layout of the website. So these are what we want to look at. So let me start from the CSS work for font now. If you are going to apply CSS for font, let's look at what are the different type of the CSS work property that are available for the font now. And as we are discussing it, I will be applying that particular CSS to some of our index page here now. I want us to start transforming this our pages. So I want to preview my index page again. This is our index page here now. You can see now, this is our index page here. So I have the cow here, I have all the text here. There's a text like this one, new arrival text. I want to add CSS to it. And the name of each of the cow here, I want to see how I can use the CSS to change the appearance of the text again. So returning back to what? To my page here now. CSS font is what we want to look at. When you are creating a website, you can give your website a unique font that make it different from the all the other site. And this font is going to be very crucial for making your text to be to be readable on the on the page. Some of the most important property for CSS font is font family. Font family is to change the font name, and the font style is to make your whether you want the text to be italics or you want it to be normal. While the font weight is to make your file to be bolder in order you want to put emphasis on something. And the font size is another important word, font. You can use to increase the size of the word or the font again. So that is some of the important part of the word. The most commonly used font word, CSS word property. We will see how to use one or two of them now. Like font family now. This one can be used to specify the font to be used. And there are different type of the font you can specify, like in typing in any document in computer system. The default font name is referred to as what? As Times New Roman. So but when you are using a CSS form, system expect you to use three type of the form name instead of two form. The reason for three type of the font name you see here like this are what? There are many people that are going to be accessing your website. In case on those people system, the system did not have the first font name, system should fall for the second font name. If the second font name is not available, it should use the third font name. The reason why we are using this one name, all of them are closer in the look. They are very look familiar when we are using them. That's why these three form can be what? Can be specified. Do you get it now? So or when you are using any font name that have a space, that's another important information. You must put that font name in the in a quotation, just like this Times New Roman. Because if you look at how they specify the different fonts here, we separate them with what? With a comma. But when your font have a space, you must put them in the in the quotation to system for know that this Korean new is in one font again. So and if you looking at this example to see difference between different type of the font, you can see that sans serif font, appearance of it different from the serif. That's why that you have to put more emphasis on on the font when you are creating your website. So I want to apply one, and again the font style, that means you can make your text to be normal, which is the default one, italic or oblique, and default is the normal here now. It just depend on how you want your font to look like. And another one is the font size, to increase the size of some of dis font too. The size of the font can be specified in pixel. Do you get now? Or you can specify it in a with a font word. We are using emphasize, or you can use percentage too, or you can even use word point too to specify the word, the font word size, or can use font name like a large, very large, and so on. So now I want us to now apply the font word to all the title name here. You can see the name of all the cow we have here. You get it now? You can see their name. I want us to apply the CSS font word to change them. And if you look at our web page again, this is web page you want to apply the font name to. All the name of the name we are giving to each of this particular word product, the name is written inside this TD here now, and that is now referred to as this. So I want to change this name. So I have to specify the word, the font now for this. So I'm going to create a new CSS file. I have to look for them to give to you. My new CSS file now, I'm going to, okay, I must select the CSS folder here before I create a new CSS file. So I'm gonna call it what? Ah, call it my, I already use my style. I'll say style, STYLES, styles dot CSS. This is the name I'm calling my CSS file. I press enter key. Okay, so I press enter key here now. Okay, so from here, from here now, I can now declare my font name as a class, because the reason why is that one, if you look at this Nupic smart cow here, it's in a TD, and I don't want to apply CSS to this TD. If I apply to the TD, it means that what? Every TD will have the same font, which I don't want to use now. Do you get it now? So because only the name of the word or this particular word product, I want it to be a little bit bigger. So I can now return back to my CSS style now, and now say dot one. I can use any class name. I can use any name. Maybe what name can I use now? Okay, I say cap. Okay, I say pro title, product, product title now. That's all. Product title. Okay, that's the name of my CSS now. And I say font what? Font size. I want size. I want to use size what? Size 14 now. 14. Maybe PT in a point. As I save this now. So the next thing to apply this particular product title to the first one, first product here inside this TD. I will now say class equal product title. You know that I just apply the size, I change the size of the NumPy cow here, and can you see, is it increasing? No. So let me return back to what? To here again. Maybe 14 is not, oh, the reason why system is not applying the CSS to this NumPy cow is that what? Since I create the CSS file, I did not attach that CSS file to this index page. So for me to attach it to it, I must add the CSS through the word, the header word section. Since the CSS is an external one, external file, I'll add it here by type word, using the link tag again. Link, I say relative equal style sheet. That's the name, style sheet, because the file I'm adding is the style sheet. And secondly is that what? I will specify the what? The type of the style sheet I'm using by say type equal to what? Text slash what? CSS. And the last one to use href to specify the name of the CSS file I want to add. My CSS file is turned into a folder called CSS slash, and the name now is called what? Styles. That is it now. So these are the one, and I will now close this tag again. So I'm adding the CSS style here now. So when I preview this page, you will notice that what the name for this smart cow here is different from the what from the Fulani and Edo breed. It's a little bit more bigger, and I want it to be more bolder again. So that means I can use another what font weight. Font weight is what to add the what to make the text to be more what bigger if I use font weight. But okay, font size, where is the font weight? Font weight now can make the text to what more bigger. I can copy this here now and I add it to the existing CSS that is already what here now in my CSS file here. And when I put this on, that is it, and I click on save again. And again, if I want to also what add the font family just for what for the learning sake here now, the font family now, I can choose which type of the font name I want to use. You get now. If I pick this font family here and I copy it, and I can add it to what to this product here again, font family. That is it. So once I saved it, automatically you can see the effect of the CSS I added to this Nupe Smart Cow. It's different from the remaining word product name here. That is the importance of it. So this time around now, and I want to apply the same thing to all the remaining word product name. What I just need to do now is this particular CSS class which I add to the to the first product here, and I call it a class product. I have to call that class product here. I need to add it to all the product name again. Here is the second product name here, Fulani cow. Okay, the top product name here, Edo breed, is here. While the fourth product name here is Benue farm cow. So when I save this for the first row now, I save this, you can see all the name here is what has changed. Okay, I think there's one more product again, Kanuri. So I can scroll down here again, and this is the fifth product name here now. So I can also add the same thing here. And when I look at it now, everything changed. The second row here, I'm going to do the same thing to it again. And this is a again. One, and Fulani, two, Edo, three, and Benue, four, and Kanuri now 5. I save this. So returning backward to this, you can see now that is it. So this how use font for font in the CSS. Font can be used to change different type of the word appearance. You can use font family to specify the font name, and you can use font size. But the next one now is what we refer to now as well the text, CSS for text. A CSS for text is used to be able to do to change the style of the text. Maybe I want to give a text color, alignment for the position, or spacing of the text, or underline is called decoration, or transformation to change the size. And these are some of the what the text can do. These are some of the property. All these one are the what the CSS for text can do, color of the text and so on. So, and some of the property for CSS for text is called text align to make it at the center, transformation to change the text capital or small letter, letter spacing and so on. So I want to apply the CSS for text again to change all this particular title here. I want title now to be what? To be green. Their color is black now. Do you get it now? So it will be more easier for me now since I already create a CSS for title. I can return back here again and now add the CSS for what? For the text to this by say color column what? Column green. Last time I talk about the hexadecimal code that we should be using it. I say 009900. This is a color green now. And if I want deeper green, I can still use 66 again. This is another one, color green now. So I save this page again. You will notice that this CSS name here which I have here, all the element I apply it to, those element will be automatically changed to what? To green. So returning to this my browser here, you can see all of them are now green at once. So, and that's for the what? For the CSS for what? For the text, for the color now. Another thing you can do with this one is that what? I want to align those information to the center. Now, if I return to this page, you notice that what? All these products here, they are not at this, I'm using the attribute to center them. Do you get it now? And this time around now, every information I'm using attribute to center, I want to use the attribute as center. So on this last product, which we call canary here, I remove the align center attribute here. I remove the align center attribute here, and I also remove the align center attribute for what? For this, and I save it. And this canary is the last product out of those 10. Can you see at the bottom right corner here that canary is not at the center again? So but I can use the CSS to center it. So what to do now is that what? I have to create another CSS because I want to add the CSS for center to so many attributes. I will come down here because there are another time I want to use it. I will say dot what? Maybe dot class name, I call it what? Center. This is my own name, oh, okay? And now define the text align equal what? Center. Because I want to use this one so many elements. So I save it. The only thing I need to do now is any of the element I want it to be center, I will apply the center to it. I will add this center now to this name here because this name here, I already have a class here that called product or title. So since I have another class that go to be center, I will put, I won't say class again. I will just give a space here and give it center like this. That means this particular TD online 2294 having a two CSS word selector here. First one is product title, second one is the center here. So once I preview here, you can see it has gone to the center. Good. But for the rest here now, I have to use a class to add them to the center. But I say class equal what? Center. Okay. And this one too, I have to also apply class equal what? Center. That means I'm now using the CSS to center the what? All the product now, not the attribute again. So I'm going to apply this center to all the other elements now. Even though this image here, I will use class what? Center. So if I'm going to apply any other CSS class, I will add it to this one. And let me go to the second product here. So I use class center because I don't want to use attribute again. So I want to start changing everything here to what? To CSS. So there's no need for us to be using align attribute because at the end of the day, as I'm using CSS to center this particular element, if next time maybe I want to change the property from center to another position, I'll just need to go to the CSS and apply that position to it. CSS will change it. Even though this name I use at the center is not good enough. Do you get it now? It's not good enough, but at least you can manage this. So the next product again, anywhere align center and say class center, and also here class center, because once you are using the CSS, there's no need for you to be using what? The class attribute in your what? In your HTML page again. So, and here again, there are many places we already had this one before. So, but we are going to take time to reverse all of them back to what? Oh, no. I'm not supposed to use class center here. Like I told you, this one should have CSS called one center. Okay. This one again. Okay. But there's some mistake. There's some class. This is supposed to be center. Okay. So, and I don't need to choose class. Two class cannot be used at the same time. So, and another one again here. So here now it just says center, and there's no need for me to use class center again here. I think there's one more. Okay, that's all. So let me say this now and see where we are. You can see. Okay, so let me check the remaining pages. Where do we stop now? Okay, we stop on row 2. So we are going to the row 1 now. This is the Kanuri. Okay, Nupe. So here now going to be one property for that means class equal center. Okay, class equal center here too. Class equal center. Okay, now this one here you can only use center here now. Center. Okay, and the next one here, that's going to be one class center. Okay, so here again class center, here again class center. We are still using the CSS for the text because this is the first attribute of the CSS for the text. I think there's another mistake somewhere here now. I'm supposed to add the two center here, okay, but not here again. Okay, so okay, so and product 5 here. Okay, for product 5 here will be center again, here will be center again, here will be okay. I delete this one, I delete it, but here will be one center. Okay, and the product image name here center, and here again will be center. So you just have 3 more products here, and here again will be center, here again will be center too. Okay, so here center, and finally center. Now I think this is the first product. Now align center, and align center, and here too, and here now center. Okay, and finally I have center one here now. Okay, center, center. Assuming that we did not use the attribute for this initially, it would have been much more easier. Okay, but once this CSS is properly defined for every information here, and that make life easy. I think that is all now. Okay, so I can now check the pages again. All the information now at the center. That means by using the CSS one, text color, we see attribute. Now another one I want to apply now is the what we call I don't need decoration now, but I want to use CSS for what transformation. I want the name of all the product to appear in capital letter. You can see their name. It's not capital letter. It is what? Title case. Title case means the first letter will be capital. So all this one can be changed at once. So I will need to use the CSS called what? Transformation. Transformation have a different value. It's used to set the case for a text, whether capital or small letter. So to do that again, I will return to my CSS now, and that's the title. So for this title, I can now use what? Text word transform now. Text transform. I will now use what? Uppercase. That is it. So once I say this, it means that what? All this particular what? The product name appear in capital letter. Can you see now? That is it. Okay. So this time around now, the price, I must give the price to special effect, just as you see it here now. So I have to create a separate CSS for what? For the price here now. So inside there now, I will call this one dot what? Dot price, and the CSS I'm dot price. So that is it. What's wrong with this now? the price. Okay, so DSL, I'm going to for price. I want the text to be okay. So look at what I want to do right here now. You can see the last product here, Canary cow. You see the two prices here. So for this one to show that what this is the old price and this is the new price, I have to color it in red. Since I already apply what we call what class here, span to separate the two price, I will now write the CSF for this old price here now. So since I already have a price here, I will come down here and say what old price. Price should be bold. Okay, and say old price now. So the old price now is going to be dot old price. There are two property, CSS property I need. Font decoration. That's another important of the font. Say the font, okay, sorry, text decoration. We call it text decoration. That's the first one. The line through. That's the one. Line through means system should rule the line. And the second is the color. Color for the text should now become red. Then go to be Ashwa 0000FF. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay. That means 00. That's go to FF00. That will be for the color. FF00. Okay, good. That's the color for what? For the red. So if I now preview this, can you see what happened now? It's showing this is the old price, but the new price is not this one. What is that? I can't hear you. Your speak. I can't hear what you are saying. The speaker is not. You say that speaker is not clear. Oh. So you can text me your message if they can. I can't hear you. So now I need to apply this to the remaining one, to the remaining element too here now. So that everything can show new or old price again. So I return back to what? To this CSS. I will copy the CSS for the old price here now. See only the last product have the old price. That means I'm copying from here. Okay. I'll now add the new value for the price here too. Making 2 now. And the next price again, making what? 3. Okay. So, and the next price again here, making 4. Basit, mute your speaker there. And the next one again, making what? 5. And the next one again, this is another price again, making what? 6. Let me save this page and see checkout. You can see now, all these one are now having the what? The old price. That means the new price is it, but these are the old what price now for each of these cow. So, and also the next one here too, and the next one here too here now. So, and other price here too. Okay, and okay, there's still one more price. And okay, I think that is all the price now. So when I save it now, you can see the CSS I've been using to change all these at once to be able to make that we have the old price, we have the what, the new price. Why many people are seeing online? So that is what the CSS does now. So now, because of the time again, like I said earlier before, that we are going to talk about the font text. You get it now? So I think let me change this. Let me change this one and make this one to be one, to be link again. So maybe tomorrow we'll talk about this how to apply CSS to the image and the list. How to CSS for this list for navigation again. Okay, that's it. So let me talk about the CSS for link now. You can also apply CSS1 to the link. That's the next one we want to look into. So if I apply the CSS1 to the link now, so hello, no, class ongoing o. Hello, hello. Okay. Okay, so now the next one I want to look at now is how we can now make use of the word of the navigation. Or before that navigation, there's something again I want to introduce again. Maybe we can start with that link for the tomorrow. I want us to apply CSS to the button. I call it button now. Button is an element we already use. You get it now. So the link, I will postpone the link till tomorrow. Now, because if you look at this our work index page again, I want to we already changed how some of the product appear. We already applied the CSS to the name of the product and the text. What about the button? Button too, we can also add CSS to what? To this button. So what we need to do for that one now is since the button is available for all the product, you can see when we say button here now. So what I will now do now is I will write the CSS for that button to change the way the button will appear. So I'm not going to use class for this. Let me tell you that I have more than one button here now. Okay, there's only one button I have on this page, and that's add to cart. You get it now. I can create a CSS for you too, but this time around I call it what? Maybe cart. I name it dot cart btn. That cart button or btn cart, depending how you want to call it again now. That is it. So I want the button. What I want from button now is this: the width of the button. I say button width I should make it about what? 150 pixel to be wide. And the button height, I want height of the button maybe to be what? To be 35 in height to in pixel. So let me add this one to one button before I will need to apply to all the button. Because when you are writing the code like this, first test it on one of the element. Now I save this and I copy this button name. So I now return to my to my index page here now. This is the first button. I will now create a class equal cart btn and I save it. So I can now preview this button here. Can you see how big button is here now? That is good. And this button even though have a border like a black line. So I don't want that border. Do you get it now? I can return back here to the CSS now. Do you get it? I will now say what? Border for the button is none. Border, I say none. I don't want border, I save it again. I also check again. You can see now, that is true. I want the text on the button to be bold. So then, I'll return back to here and apply font weight again. I say font weight and I want to use bold again. And I save it again. And when I check the button again, you can see now, that is it. I want to give the button background color. Since the color I'm using now on this side is going to be green, do you get it now? I have to be consistent with it. So I'm going to use background color as a green now and white. So I will now apply another CSS property called what? Background color. You know we talked about the background in the last class. how to apply background color. So I'm using my green color here now. And once I save this, you can see that my button is now green. But to make this look more attractive, it's not good to have the black is not good on the green. Let's try the white, because you have to make sure that you use a good color combination, color column hash FFF. I'm supposed to have saved this video before this. Okay, so see that you can see now. That's my button. But I want to add one effect called over this button now, so that when my mouse is over it, the color of the button's wall should change. Then I will now I'll copy this entire button here. I'll duplicate it right here. For us to understand this section, it's good to add a comment to this section before I move ahead. The comment is going to explain I call it cat button. So cat button. So if anybody going through CSS code, they will know that the CSS I wrote here for the cat button. Now to make the mouse, if I move the mouse over my button here, I want the color of it to change. One of the CSS or attribute I use is called over. Since I duplicate this button selector, I'll put column over here. I will now say over. So that means when mouse is over it, what do I do? What I want is a background color to change. So here now, I'll remove all the CSS or attribute. And now say background color is going to become white. Why the text color? Okay, there are three information I need to use. I need the border, I need the background color again. This is how it's going to be now. So, and the background color now make it white. So I make background color to be white, which is FFF. Okay, the border color now will be green. So I'll make border color to be green. I'll say 1 pixel and a solid, and follow with hash that's the green for border color. And the color of the text, I will now make it green again. You can see now. So let's see how this one look like when I save this. You can see now that when I move my mouse, can you see again? Nice one. You can see again. So this button is completely transformed now here with this CSS. So since I already applied to this one, I think for now it's okay. I can now replicate it on remaining button. What I just need to do now is returning back to my HTML page now. It is class button on the button. So I can just copy this class button here. When I copy it, I will now apply to all the cards. So I'm going to the second card now, button space add now. So let me recopy with the space again. So I'm copying again here, and I return to the third one again. This is the third button here now, add. Okay, the next button again, add, and the next button again here, I paste again. Let me save this one and preview before I will go further. You can see that's nice one now for all the button here now. So I'm returning to back to here again. The next button here, and 1, 2, supposed to be 5 product now. 3 and 4, and the last one here now is 5. I now save it. So returning back here again, you can see all the buttons now change here. You can see now. So my index page is now having a good look now. If I compare with the previous one when it is ordinary HTML, it doesn't look like this. So by tomorrow, we are going to see how we can now transform the images. That's number one. And again, the navigation again. How you can transform the navigation. So we want to apply set to the navigation to make it change. So and the images again. So we are still going to continue with any other one that need to work to change today. I mean any other one we need to work to apply CSS to. So mostly tomorrow we are going to look at how we can create a link, how you can use CSS link, and how you apply CSS to the list item, and also for the navigation too. Okay, guys. So please, let's stop from here now. So because of the time. So is there any question now, guys? Hello? Hello? So I say, is there any question now on this? Okay, thank you so much. So I want us to stop from now. So I will send this video. I don't want it to be more than an hour again. I'm supposed to have, I want to make it two before, but this one is like it's taking about more than okay 40